Now, State House has turned into a house of lies and a drain on taxpayers' money. And in this week's edition of Face the Facts, our reporter Haman Kamariki takes us behind the gates of power to expose the West, the extravagance and the deception at the very heart of government. Tonight, Face the Facts puts State House under the spotlight.
Now, welcome to First the Facts. And tonight, we are turning that spotlight on the spectacle that should be our center of gravity, the State House. Now, instead of it being a symbol of Kenya's sovereignty, it's slowly becoming a stage for West, a comedy for theatrics, and a cathedral of lies. The control of budget, Margaret Nyakango, has been sounding the alarm on government excesses and misuse of public funds.
I have to use a lot of discretion, and I'm also human. When I'm under threat, I have to self-preserve.
Let's go through the figures first. 6.3 billion Kenya shillings, that's the top hospitality government-wide. In short, we spend approximately 17.2 million Kenya shillings a day, and guess who is leading the circus? None other than State House, taking the largest slice of the cake with 1.15 billion Kenya shillings alone on hospitality. Tea and mandazi worth billions. Yet, our schools are short on chalk and our hospitals are running on empty medicine cabinets. State House burned through 2.2 million Kenya shillings a day on printing. That's a staggering 817 million Kenya shillings in 1 year. Yes, you heard me right. In a digital age, they are paper. They are paper pushing to tune a fortune while students can't even open a textbook. Now, remember some time back when the president said that he is going paperless, and he even chaired his first cabinet when the cabinet secretaries had the tablets. Let's listen in.
Digitization of all government services is going to be part and parcel of the processes of the government of Kenya and part of the delivery of this administration. So I want to congratulate CS Owalo and team.
And now, nearly 963 million Kenya shillings was used to buy new vehicles and refurbishment. It seems these guys are driving luxury, while the Nairobi State House itself remains stuck at only 44% complete. Now, State House didn't just spend its budget. It sprinted past the finish line. They overshot their recurrent budget that was set at 9.5 billion Kenya shillings against the 8.5 million allocation in just 10 months. And when their wallet was thin, they decided to raid the nation's rainy day fund, the emergency kitty. Now, in just 42 days, State House siphoned out 3.6 billion Kenya shillings for travel, meetings, and fuel. The control of budget only signed off 2.3 billion Kenya shillings. Now, Margaret Nyakango rejected the others. Let me take you through what she rejected. She rejected the shameless request for 700 million Kenya shillings to build a dais. And get these right, a dais at 700 million Kenya shillings. Now, she also rejected 400 million Kenya shillings that had been requested to buy new vehicles. This isn't a rumor from the newsrooms. This is cold, hard data from the control of budget, Margaret Nyakango. Recently, President William Samoei Ruto recently hosted 10,000 teachers at State House. Each one walked away with 10,000 Kenya shillings. That's close to about 100 million Kenya shillings disbursed in a single afternoon in a lavish thank you note written with the taxpayer money. This has actually been confirmed by Omboko Milemba, the Kuppet chair. Now, meanwhile, school capitation is told. Universities are striking over pay and parents are pushed to the brink of this. This is the same president who vowed to clip the wings of travel costs. Let's listen in.
I'm going to adjust my budget again. I will knock off a few things, including the travel allowances and many of the things that are in there, so that I can find 500 million shillings to give it to start the manufacture of local devices.
Yes, His office is burning billions on flying and hosting. The same president who swore he would never stand for police excesses. But remember, he even told the officers to shoot Kenyans in the leg.
Mtu ambaye anaenda kuchoma biashara ya mtu mwingine. Mtu ambaye anachukua moto, anaenda kuchoma biashara ya mtu. Anaenda kuchoma mali ya watu wengine. Mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini.
Now, even after saying they should shoot Kenyans in the leg, he went ahead and formed a committee to compensate victims of police brutality. In the same breath, instructed them to do more brutality. A true act of double crossing. The same president who told teachers at State House that 20% of affordable housing units would be reserved for them. He even told the security sector that 20% will also be reserved for them. That's a blatant housing lie. Because the law is crystal clear. Allocation for the affordable houses is the housing board's job, the mandate of the housing board, and it happens after verification. So let's face the facts. When a president breaks his word on police brutality, when he lies about slashing spending, when he slashes billions on tea, trips, cars, and cash handouts, when he turns State House into a theater of lies, that is not leadership. That is betrayal. I am Haman Kamariki. I leave you the proverb that says, you can fool all the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time.
Let's now take a look at what is happening in agriculture. And rice farmers